What is going on, boys? Welcome everybody back to another video, another objectives guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at the out of position Hudson-Odoi. Now if you guys are new to these objective guides, we go over all new objectives EA release. I give you guys some tips, tricks, in-game examples if necessary, along with a squad builder. If I leave any of your questions unanswered, make sure to let me know down below and I'll try my best to get back to you. So starting off, we've got assist 5 goals with having at least, or while having at least 5 defenders in your starting 11. Now it is in your starting 11 and there's two ways around this. You could say maybe keep a 4-4-2 formation and just play a defender on 0 chemistry at left mid. That will indeed count, and then sub him off straight away. Or you can simply go into the game with a 5 at the back formation, and then you could change it in game, or you could stick with a 5 at the back formation. It is completely up to you. For the sake of a squad builder, we're probably going to go for a 5 at the back, alright? So that is how we'll get around that. But reminder, you could play like a 4-4-2, play a right back at right mid if you want, something like that. Score 4 goals using left wing players. Actually, now this kind of made up my mind. Left wing players, we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose a 5 at the back formation with the left wing and right wing. I think a 5-2-3 is what it is, right? I'm pretty sure that is a correct formation that we'll be using. But score 4 goals using left wing players with at least 80 pace. You've got score and assist using right wing players in 3 separate matches. And you've got score using Bundesliga players in 6 separate wins in the FUT Friendly Managerial Masterpiece. So these are all taking place in Managerial Masterpiece. Lads, let's get into the squad builder. Actually, first let's have a look at the Managerial Masterpiece game mode. Go on over to play, go on over to friendlies, and go on over to play online. Managerial Masterpiece should be one of the first ones here. As you can see, go over a little bit. Managerial Masterpiece, if you look below my webcam, requirements, team overall rating, maximum 80, 88 and higher overall players, at most 1 in your starting 11, bronze players exactly 0, and at most 1 lone player. Now what I can tell you is EA have messed up, and this is an inaccurate representation of the correct requirements. The bronze players exactly 0 in your starting 11, and the exact same for the 88 and higher overall players in your starting 11 does not actually mean your starting 11, it means your whole team, your subs and bench as well. EA are shocking with that. They still haven't fixed it. They still have not fixed it. They should say in your starting squad, not your starting 11. If you have a bronze player on the bench, then it will not count, and technically the bench is not the starting 11, so that's just EA's fault. But let's get into the squad builder. Right lads, so this is a team we have come up with. Now you've probably got 2 questions. First of all, wondering why these guys have some exclamation marks next to their name, and also wondering why it is 82 rated and you're going, Davis, I cannot get into the game. Now basically lads, right, what you want to do, simply as, you cannot have any bronze players on the bench, remember, because if you have a look, if we put a bronze player on the bench, as you can see, underneath bronze players is currently red, which is stupid because it's not technically the starting 11. But what you want to do to narrow it down from 82 rating, what you can do is go to silver and go on over to low to high, okay? 65 rating is the lowest possible rating you are allowed to use in your squad. But by doing this, lads, what it means is it will narrow down your team rating. As you can see, it is down to 79 rated, which is absolutely perfect, which kind of leads me into tip number 1. We're getting into tip number 1 before the official squad builder, if you will. So I guess I'll call this segment, this timeline, if you will, squad builder / tip number 1, I guess you could say. But tip number 1, lads, is going to be the bench. You could use some super subs. Remember, you can only have 1 player over 88, and if you still have your lone Mbappe, I highly recommend using him. Remember, be wary of going over 80 rating, but there we go, I could use my Vinicius, and as you can see, we have still got everything down there is all green. We're still able to go into a game. We've got an Mbappe, Vinicius on the bench, and to narrow that rating down, we've gone for 5, 65 rated. Remember, you cannot use bronzes as you're just not allowed. Now for the formation and the exclamation marks, these guys do have secondary positions, so after you buy them, you will be able to position modify them to the correct position. That's the same for Diaby, and that is the same for our right wing back Montiel. Now we did go for the 5-2-2-1 because it's got a right wing and a left wing. Once again, make sure you position modify modify these guys so they are a left wing and right wing, or else it will not count towards the objective, okay? So that is very important. You want to buy these guys, and then you want to apply a position modifier so they are, and their card says left wing and right wing. We've gone for Azuke, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced, at left wing, with Werner up top, Diaby at right wing. We've kind of gone a La Liga, Bundesliga hybrid with Lamar and Sergi Dada as the two centre mids. Regular on a left wing back with Nacho Fernandez. Dude, by the way, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm so bad. I always butcher it on stream. Arejo, I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to try it. We'll call him Ronald. Ronald is so good on this game, lads. He is like the Kimpembe of this year. We've got Al Yamik at right centre back with Montiel as our right wing back, and we've got Baumann in there. All right, so this is a team we've gone for. Bundesliga, La Liga hybrid, max 80 rating. We've got the subs as well, which is going to be tip number 1, will be the super subs. I mean, make sure you position modify them to the left wing, right wing, and you're good to go. Which, lads, leads me into tip number 1, okay? And tip number 1, by the way, I do want to mention, when you do make these cards a right wing and a left wing, make them the correct positions, that does mean that Timo Werner, Diaby, all of them, they will go to, I think Timo Werner himself, he's got the German Bundesliga, he'll go to 2 chemistry. Diaby will be on 2 chemistry because he's got the French link from Lamar. Now, if you do want to, I don't know if a Nigerian manager is in the game, but you could as well get like another German La Liga manager if you want to get some more chemistry. In fact, that would work very well and just bump that chemistry up a little bit more, which does lead me, lads, into tip number 1 / technically 2 if you want to count the bench as tip number 1. But tip number 2, lads, is going to be chemistry styles. Chemistry styles, in my opinion, are so important, especially for the lower rated players, because it can make them perform a lot better in game. For example, this card right here, he is on 0 out of 3 chemistry points, which means I probably wouldn't worry about putting a chemistry style on him, because as you can see, he gets absolutely no boost whatsoever. Now, Ryan Kent, on the other hand, is on 1 out of 3 chemistry points, which I still think is not so much worth putting a chemistry style, because he only gets +1s on the board, and I think that's just a little bit of a waste. As for players that are 2 out of 3 chemistry points or more, though, I do think that is where you're going to want to start getting some chemistry styles on them. For example, Ben Yedder is on 2 out of 3, and he's starting to get some +2s throughout the board. Therefore, I think all of your players that are at least 2 out of 3 chem points, it's worth getting a chemistry style on them. You can do so by going to Apply Consumable and going over to your Chemistry Style tab. There you will see all of the chemistry styles in your club. You've got attacking, midfielders, defending one as well. I would avoid using hunters though, because you don't really want to use that. It's a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit excessive for objectives. Now, this is a prime example of chemistry styles. Player from Valverde, who is on 3 out of 3 chemistry points, so the maximum points. As you can see, he's got an engine applied. With this engine attributes boost, he goes to 94 pace in game, roughly 89 or 90 passing. He gets a nice dribbling boost as well. So it just goes to show, give the chemistry styles on your players. I think all of your players that are on at least 2 chemistry points, and it will benefit them in game. So as I said, it'll be well worth putting the chem styles on your players, which leads me into tip number 3, which is going to be custom tactics. Custom tactics, in my opinion, is very important because not much people use them in friendly game modes. Now, I'm not going to give you guys some certain custom tactics to use, but what I do really like this year is direct passing for balanced, and if you do want to edit your attacking and defensive ones as well, I do recommend fast build up for attacking and even press after possession loss if you want. Now, as for in-game as well, if you really do want to change formations, you could do that for your like attacking defensive. You could start as a 4-3-3 and change in-game to a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation, something like that, you know. Because so much people in friendly game modes, they're going to make a new team, they're going to get the requirements, and they're just going to leave all their custom tactics on balanced. They're not going to change the in-game formation, they're not going to do player instructions. So if you do that yourself, it will give you a little bit of an advantage. And what you could do is you could copy your custom tactics for your main team, something that you're used to. If you do not run custom tactics on your main team, then there's plenty of videos on YouTube. I've even got some videos of my own for custom tactics on my own YouTube. There is a created playlist in my playlist section if you do want to check that out. Now, honestly, that is the 3 tips for today. Usually I'd say tip 4 as golden goal, but EA have been kind of working their way around golden goal this year, which is really annoying, because what they've done, and this makes it very hard to be able to do golden goal, is because you've got score and assist using right wing players, which means you need to get at least 2 goals from that, right? You need to score and you need to assist. That means you need to get at least 2 goal contributions. Therefore, golden goal just goes out the window, because you can't do golden goal whilst needing to score 2 goals if you get what I mean, right? So EA are very annoying with that, but maybe you've done this one, then in a slight chance you've done a score and assist using a right wing first, and you've done that one, and you just need to score using Bundesliga players in separate wins, score using left wings, and get some assists. Well, I mean, I say the assists, this should just be getting done as you go anyway, because when you score, you'll most likely assist at the same time. But let's say you do get the score and assist using right wing players done first, then you can do golden goal from that point onwards. If you guys do not know what golden goal means, essentially if you go 1-0 down, you quit, and if you go 1-0 up, hopefully your opponent quits as well. A little bit of an unspoken community rule, but we're not going to give that as an official tip today, just because score and assist using right wing players does make that a little bit difficult. You do need to score 2 goals in one match for that one, which means golden goal is ineffective. All in all, lads, for the overview, we've got assist 5 goals whilst having at least 5 defenders. Obviously, the 3 centre backs and the 2 wing backs count as defenders, but you could just stay with like a 4 at the back formation, or actually no, you want like a 4-3-3 formation maybe. Then you'd have to play a fullback at like centre mid and sub them off. In my opinion, it's too much stress, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with a 5 at the back formation, so I'll just stick with a 5 at the back. You've then got score 4 goals using left wing players with at least 80 pace. Now, our left wing does indeed have 80 pace. He's a Nigerian guy for Hertha Berlin. Score and assist using right wing players, which that is going to be Diaby. Once again, making sure you position modify him to the correct position. And you've got score using Bundesliga players in 6 separate wins. You obviously do need to go and CC out and win this match, but your whole front 3 is Bundesliga. Lads, good luck, happy grinding, a relatively easy objective, and this card looks really good. Let me know if you'll be completing, and let me know if I missed any of your questions down below. So your boy Davis, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, lads.